Tell me the story about your having cancer many years ago. How did that change your life, and how did that prepare you for Survivor?
Yeah. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a 11 millimeter spot in the back of my posterior fossa. It was a real wake-up call for me. I can remember when I went to the weight room and I was doing a 45-pound set on the bench press, 135, and I fell off the bench. And Augustine was there. He was my assistant coach, and I broke down and wept in the weight room because I realized that at that point, things might not ever be the same again. At that time, I got a tattoo in Hebrew on my left arm that said, it's home, 23:48, while I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And I carried that with me, the whole time that I was going through that ordeal. Did it prepare me for Survivor?
Like, was that the real Survivor for you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I think it was the real Survivor for me because it puts everything into perspective.
Switching gears here, what fascinates you most about reality TV?
I would say that what fascinates me most about reality TV is people that lose complete control of their character. And I'm not talking about characters in the way that we try to portray ourselves on television, but in almost every reality show, there are people or all the people that when they come face to face with temptation, Survivor is the temptation of being dishonest and lying and doing whatever it takes in order to get $1 million.
I just want to ask, where does all your personal confidence come from? Is it an act, or?
It's funny because I've had a lot of comments about that. Yeah. And obviously, when the producers asked me to talk for an hour about myself, when I was 15 years old, I was in the paper for the first time for playing the trumpet, and I've just kind of been in the spotlight, not on this scale, but I've just kind of been in the spotlight ever since. So when you're used to talking about yourself, my two jobs, the symphony and coaching, I have to speak all the time. I have to speak what I think. I got to speak directionally to the players, to the musicians, and so I could say that on one hand, when I grew up, my parents were awesome. We had a very tight family, and my parents continually told me, you can do whatever you want to. You can be the best trumpet player. You can be the best this, the best that. So I had a great base from my family, but I think it's just the accomplishments that everybody always wants me to talk about. They really mean nothing.
Did you give a cover story to your soccer team? What was it?
With my soccer team, it was very vague, and I know that is definitely caused a little bit of controversy at SBU. And I'm used to controversy. It doesn't bother me. I'll be the first to admit that I'll be the first person to admit if I screw up. I'll be the first person to admit that I really backed into a corner in any situation. But with the soccer girls, I think a lot of things have been misconstrued. We were not able to talk to anybody except for our immediate family going down there. And we were told repeatedly that the vaguer the better, which is exactly what I did. I got the girls together. It was I think 2 days before I ended up leaving, and I said, I've got to leave. I would not leave if it weren't an emergency. I can't get out of this. I have to go do it. I can't give you the details. And then they jumped to conclusions that it was tied in with what I went through with my brain tumor. So, that was something that grieved me when I came back and I realized that everybody was just seriously freaked out for my health. But, going down there, I couldn't say, hey, I'm going to go down to Brazil and be participating in Survivor for the next 2 months. That's just not allowed to do.
So did anybody at SBU have to keep this a secret? Any of your fellow staff or faculty?
I think I'd probably better say no comment on that.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to put anybody else's job in jeopardy. That's obviously a thorn in the side, but I'm just probably better keep that one.
All right. How did your relationship with God prepare you to be on Survivor? How did it help you?
Yeah, I think that the unique way that I approach the game. There's a big joke of people that are going to be on this show where a lot of people say flippantly, people kill for less than $1 million, because they do. You look at contract killers out there can get anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000, to lie for $1 million, why not? You know, I mean, to mislead and backstab and make 10 different alignments and then pick them off one by one, why not? You know, that's what everybody else does. And that is the culture of Survivor. That is the culture of Survivor. And when I went into this game, I felt like if I were not a Christian, and I talked about it before going into the game, my foundation was built on a rock of Jesus Christ. And that foundation will not be broken, will not be shaken. And if I had not had that foundation, then I would have wanted to approach the game completely different.
All right, Ben, last question. After being in the national spotlight, what's next for Benjamin Wade?
Well, you know, I think that everything happens for a reason. And I think that when this opportunity was presented, I had a very difficult decision to make because of the timing of it. I felt that going on Survivor was exactly what I was supposed to do. I felt like that was the center of God's will for my life, to go down there and do that. I think that there will be a lot of doors that open up this year for me. And I plan on being back here and coach in the fall. I do not want to have my last season at SBU being one where the girls missed the playoffs, missed the national tournament. I think I've got unfinished business to do here. So I plan on being here in the fall, but after that I make no promises, because I have a feeling that you're going to see Coach Wade having his own show, or you're going to see me pursuing stuff in Hollywood, maybe some acting. But I mean, I think I can definitely see a shift going on inside of me that says, what's next? It's kind of that mentality of forget about everything you've done, what's next?